Let us through, you flaming blighter. We're not staying in this pit.
Then get back on your ship and leave. Kirkwall has no more room for refugees.
The ship's already gone. We've paid good coin to get here.
You and half of Ferelden. There's nothing I can do. The city is full.
One of the guards said you were letting in people who have business in the city.
That's right. We've seen you let lots of people through.
Citizens and merchants that make it worth our while. I'll assume that you don't have any more coin than these gentlemen. We've been letting you Fereldans in for months. You're too late. There's no more room.
But we've got family here.
I've heard claims like that 1,000 times already, trust me. We'll find some ships to take you all back to Ferelden, eventually. Until then, you stay here.
If you find our uncle, Gamlen Amel, you might just have a few less refugees bothering you.
Gamlen? I know that name.
He's a nobleman here in the city. Our family has an estate.
A nobleman? The only Gamlen I know is a weasel who couldn't rub two coppers together. He comes back, I'll bring you to him. But I don't have time to...
What? You gonna let them through?
I didn't say anything about...
We've been here for 4 days. They just got here.
That's it. We're carving our way out of here. Men?
Unbelievable.
Captain, are you all right?
I am, no thanks to you. Where is everyone? Go find them. I want this kept under control. You have my thanks. Look, I can't get you into the city. It's not my decision. But I'll find your uncle and bring him here.
It's been 3 days. This waiting has to end.
I'm sure it won't be much longer. Gamlen must still be looking for us.
And if he's not?
Don't look now, but I think that's our man.
Leandra! Damn, girl, the years haven't been kind to you.
Gamlen!
Let me say up front, I wasn't expecting this. The Blight, your husband, dead. I'd figured you'd pretty much be Ferelden for life.
Oh, Gamlen. We came too late. My darling Bethany didn't make it, and Drastic guide her.
Oh, make her save me. Leandra, don't drop this on me here. I don't even know if I can help you get in.
Would it help if I said you were my favorite uncle?
It'd make me feel better, but that's about it. I was hoping to grease some palms, but the Knight Commander's been cracking down. We're gonna need more grease.
But what about the estate? Surely Father left something when he died?
Right, about the estate. It's, gone. To settle a debt. I've been meaning to write you.
Then there's no hope.
Not quite. I know some people who might help. If you're not too delicate about the company you keep.
Mother said our family was wealthy. You really can't help us.
I am blighted helping. I've got 2 offers of work from people who've got the coin to open those gates.
I still can't believe you sold the estate. Gamlen, how could you?
Well, I didn't expect your blasted family to show up on my doorstep. I've got a nice place in Lowtown. You'll see, it'll all work out.
Do we need to stay in Kirkwall? Let's go to another city.
This was my home. I can't believe they won't let me come back.
Every city on the coast's been hip-deep in Ferelden since the Blight. You could try your luck further inland, I suppose, but it won't be easy.
We're not putting Mother through that. We came here. We're staying here.
Let's hear it, Uncle. What do you have in mind?
I talked to my contacts, and I found some people who might be willing to pay your way into the city. The catch is, you and your brother will have to work off the debt. For a year.
A year?
It's the best I could do. Trust me when I say a bunch of refugees won't get a better option anywhere else.
I'm sure we'll be free and clear before we know it.
I managed to convince my contacts to come to the gallows to meet you personally. Mirren heads up the mercenary company, the Red Iron. They're looking for recruits. Fenrir, I guess you might call her a smuggler. Either one of them can help you. All you need to do is find them in the courtyard and convince them you're worth the trouble.
What do you think about this, Carver?
What can I say? Better here than nowhere.
What kind of man is this Mirren?
He's a hired sword. What do you expect him to be like? I wouldn't bring him home for dinner or anything, but he's got a decent reputation. I wouldn't have asked him if I thought he'd cross you.
How dangerous is this smuggler's work?
Well, it won't be pretty working for her. She's a pretty small fish compared to some of the other thieves' guilds around here. But she's tough, she's fair, and she never deals in slaves or flesh.
Let's find them and see what they have to say.
Oh, Gamlin, I don't know about this.
It's a lot of coin, Leandra. Don't go expecting our name to carry the kind of weight it used to.
And what of me? I will not allow others to incur debts on my behalf.
Can't see that it makes a difference. You look like a lady who can pull her own weight.
Then you'll come with us.
I have no real option. Thank you.
Are you a Fenrir?
You must be Gamlin's niece. Interesting. I don't know what he told you about us, but he certainly told us a great deal about you.
How much exactly?
Enough to pique our interest, provided you can justify your uncle's confidence.
I'd like to know more about what we'd be doing for you.
I can be honest. We don't compete with the Thieves' Guild, but we keep our fingers in a lot of pots. That said, we're not killers or slavers. Anything short of that, however, is fair game.
Do what you want, but this sounds fishy to me.
Begging and taking your pick never went hand in hand.
I hear getting us into the city isn't cheap.
If you're as good as your uncle claims, we're hoping you'll be worth it. After all, it's not every day we're offered an apostate's services.
I didn't realize Gamlin had told you that much.
The Templars in Kirkwall like to think they have all mages properly leashed, but when has that ever been true? We can keep them from taking notice while you're with us. Wouldn't be the first time.
How did you get to be one of my uncle's contacts?
Is that what he calls me? He owes us after that last big idea. If you turn out, though, we'll consider things even.
Tell me what you need done.
There's a merchant named Cavril, friend of the Templars, so they let him set up his little shop here in the Gallows. We supplied him in return for a piece of the take, but now he won't pay up. We can't go near him without him screaming for the guard, but you can. Get our money from him and you're in.
I've already told you, I can't give you any more for them.
But that was everything we have. It's all we brought with us.
And I feel for you, Sarah, but it's the best I can do.
If they just let us into the city, I could get 3 times that price.
Myron?
Your business is done.
But...
Now then, what can I do for you, Sarah?
I believe you owe your business partners something.
Oh, I see.
Should I go tell the guards?
Not just yet. I want to hear this. So, Ethenril sent you to collect, did she? Too cowardly to do it herself.
Care to step in here?
Only because this toad deserves it. You have a choice. Pay, or I beat it out of you, and your men.
Hey!
Stay back. Just... take what's in the chest. Take it all. Now I'm getting out of here. Let those guards find someone else to buy Dogland junk.
You could have given us something more challenging.
Will you look at that? Tell your uncle we'll make the arrangements. Welcome aboard.
Any luck?
Was there ever any doubt?
I'll speak to Ethenril and see when the bribes can be made. Wait here.
I guess we did it. We're here to stay, at least for a while.
No more running for our lives unless we really have to.
If only Bethany were here with us.
And Wesley.
Well, we're off to a fantastic start. Let's see what else this city has in store.
Thus began the champion's first year in Kirkwall. Word arrived from across the sea that the hero of Ferelden had defeated the Blight. But Lothering was destroyed. Kirkwall was the champion's home now. So she remained, paying off her debt, made a name for herself in the underworld. It was a busy year in the city. That's when the Qunari landed. A great storm had caught their ship and left hundreds of warriors stranded in the city, waiting to return home. That's also when the trouble began with the mages. The Templars had become very powerful under Knight Commander Meredith. But, most importantly, that's when I first met the champion.
No! Andraste's tits, human. You know how many people want to hire onto this expedition?
Look, we know you're going into the deep roads. You'll need to hire the best, and we're...
No! You're too late. Already done.
The money from this trip could fix everything. You need us. We've fought Darkspawn.
Look, Precious. I don't care if you tore the horns off an ogre with your bare hands.
You make him understand. We're running from your bloody Templars.
My brother has a point. It's on his head, but it's still valid.
Oh, thanks for that.
So what about it, Bertrand? We're just what you need.
You're looking for a quick way out of the slums, right? You and every other Ferelden in this dump. Find another meal ticket.
Well, back to waiting for someone to turn us in.
You can relax. After all, the Templars dogging us are mine.
Did I sound that bad? Maker, I'm turning into Gamlen. Gamlen? He's got a head for this garbage. Maybe he can talk to Bertrand. He knows some people. After last week, we need all the coin and influence we can get.
You catch more flies with honey. But Gamlen's bullshit could work too.
Well, he did get us into the city, right? What else can we do? We're losing ground, and I don't fancy waking up in the gallows.
Hey!
I knew a guy once who could take every coin out of your pockets just by smiling at you. But you don't have the style to work Hightown, let alone the Merchants Guild. You might want to find yourself a new line of work. Off you go. How do you do? Varric Tethras, at your service. I apologize for Bertrand. He wouldn't know an opportunity if it hit him square in the jaw.
But you would.
I would. What my brother doesn't realize is that we need someone like you. He would never admit it either. He's too proud. I, however, am quite practical.
You're part of Bertrand's venture.
That's right. The deep roads wouldn't normally be my thing, but I can't allow the head of our family to go down there alone. So as you might imagine, I have more than a passing interest in this expedition's success.
What makes you so certain we can help? You know nothing about us.
Oh, on the contrary. You've made quite the name for yourself over the last year. The Coterie has been squeezing smugglers out left and right, and the only group to survive owes it all to you two. The name Hawk is on many lips these days. Not bad for a Ferelden fresh off the boat.
You must have heard of my brother as well, then.
A little, yes. But it is you they speak most of, Messer.
That figures.
Your brother is certainly welcome to join us by all means, but I'll leave that in your hands.
Oh, I'm going. Without this expedition, we won't last out the year.
You're going awfully far out of your way just to hire another guard.
We don't need another hireling. We need a partner. The truth is, Bartrand's been tearing his beard out trying to fund this on his own, but he can't do it. Invest in the expedition. 50 sovereigns and he can't refuse. Not with me there to vouch for you.
Your brother doesn't seem like the sort who's willing to split profits.
My brother is many things, but he is not stupid. Far better to share the profits than be trapped in a tide with 1,000 darkspawn between you and the exit. Trust me, he'll come around.
Why would you stick your neck out for a complete stranger?
I'd rather take a chance on someone with your reputation than head into the deep roads unprepared. And besides, we'd be your partners. I'm willing to give a little trust if you are.
I hope there's more to this. Like how I'm supposed to get that much coin together.
You need to think big. There's only a brief window after a blight when the deep roads won't be crawling with darkspawn. The treasure you find down there could set you and your family up for life.
Come on. The dwarf makes some sense. No offense. Look, you started this, and it's a good idea. Certainly better than ending up in the gallows.
We work together, you and I, and before you know it, you'll have all the capital you need. What do you say?
It's not like I had anything better planned.
Perfect. Kirkwall's crawling with work. You set aside some coin from every job and you'll have the money in no time.
Sure. Easy. But maybe Aveline's got some bounties out. She joined the city guard, right?
We should talk privately when you get the chance. In the Hanged Man, maybe. I'll be there when I'm not with you. Now, let's go see what trouble we can stir up.
Hawk, long time no see, my friend.
Well, if it isn't Worthy, the dwarf with the incredibly ironic name.
I only advertise the truth. You aren't still working for Athenril, are you? Your year must be up by now.
Still trying to ferret out everyone's business, I see.
Of course. How else do you expect a dwarf to make a living? I'll tell you what. I still have my old contacts. You need some rune crafting done, I can arrange it for you. Take care, Hawk. Don't get dead.
My. If it isn't Hawk.
Still up to old tricks, Elegant?
Lady Elegant, if you don't mind. I'm a married woman now. Last time we met, you were still in Athenril's employ. Things have been going well since then?
Could be better. Could be worse.
I often feel the same way. You may recall I sometimes provided potions for Athenril. I'd be willing to extend you the same courtesy if you like. All I ask is you inform me of any interesting reagents you find. In exchange, I'll approach my contacts on your behalf. And of course you'll need the appropriate recipes, such as this one. Free, for old time's sake.
So, here's the thing. We need to find a way into the deep roads. Bartrand can lead us to the right place once we're down there, but we need a good entrance.
Any entrance would do, wouldn't it? Well, unless a dragon's sitting in it, I suppose.
We need an entrance that's close to our destination, but isn't already plundered or filled with darkspawn. Fortunately, I've received some new information. There's a Grey Warden in the city. If anyone knows how to get down there, it'll be him.
Why would a Grey Warden know that?
The Wardens don't just fight darkspawn. They forge into the deep roads all the time. And if he doesn't know, he might be able to point us to those who do.
Are there any other options?
None at the moment. Bartrand had an entrance lined up, but it was a bust. I'll keep looking, but if we don't find something, we'll have a fancy expedition with nowhere to go.
Sounds like you have it all planned out, Varric.
And that, Messer, is why I'm here. Supposedly, this Grey Warden came in with some other Ferelden refugees not long ago. A Lowtown woman named Lorene has been helping the Fereldans. We talked to her. Maybe we learn where he is. I'll keep after my contacts, see if I can drum up any other work.
He wasn't like this in Lothering. I think he misses the open fields.
Come on. Let's play Fetch the Invisible Ball.
He just needs to get out more. Don't you, boy?
But if he's with us, who'd keep Gamlen's debt collectors away?
Take it. I'm sick of what's-his-name staring and panting.
Gamlen, honestly, a Mabari understands what you say. Try using his name.
What's wrong with dog? Real easy to remember.
My children have been in servitude for a year. They should be nobility.
If wishes were poppy, we'd all be dreaming.
You mean this is real? No wonder I can't wake up.
And here I thought that Ferelden you ran off with was a mage, not a jester. Your mother was supposed to marry the Comte de Launcey, and instead she ran off with some Ferelden apostate. You don't get to stay the favorite when you do that.
Where is Father's will? If I could just see for myself.
It's not here, all right? It was read, it went in the vault. No one needed to look at it again.
I know the Amels were nobility, Mother, but not much else. Why don't you ever talk about them?
The Amels have been a noble family in Kirkwall since Garahel drove out the Fourth Blight. But we've always carried magic in our blood. It's been a stain on our lineage. No family of good standing would ever marry into a line with magic. When I chose your father, I was bringing more magic into our line, not less. I think that's what hurt my parents the most.
Did Grandfather mention Mother in his will at all?
Our father died when you were still in Pinafores, girl. You can hardly expect me to remember.
Oh, of course not. Why should you do something reasonable?
Take me to the vault.
Can't. It's in the cellar of the estate. Someone else lives there now.
What daft bastard leaves that behind?
It was old news. You think I've been sitting here for 25 years waiting for Leandra to slink back?
Who bought the estate, Gamlen? Perhaps I could speak to them. Was it the Reinhardts?
No one you know. Get used to Lowtown, sister. That's where we're going to stay.
Maker, what a mess. I want to make things better for Mother. But some of what Gamlen says, I'm having a hard time hating him. Playing caretaker for someone else's life. Stuck in their shadow. That's no way to live.
And there it is.
Look, if you want to join the fight over who lost the most, fine. But I never lived here. Mother even gave me her old key to try and stir something. But I didn't know Grandfather. Finding his will doesn't matter to me.
We're scraping to bribe Bartrand, and you don't think having an estate would help?
Sure it would, but it won't be free. How much unwanted attention will warring with slavers get us?
What have you heard?
Uncle's a chatty drunk. He was up to his neck and signed everything over. That's who has the estate. Apparently, the most extensive wine cellar in Kirkwall is now a slave highway from the Undercity. That's the family legacy.
I don't know about you, but that makes me a little angry.
We agree at last.
So, forgetting everything else, what would you do with slavers?
Only one thing their kind deserves.
We agree at last.
All right, sister. If the key works, we'll clear the estate from the Undercity up. So this is it. Grandfather's will. Let's just take it back to Mother and be done with it.
I don't think there's any point in delaying the news.
So I'm just saying, blood's blood and all, but you are taking advantage of my hospitality. It's only fair if you make something of a monthly contribution.
You sold my children into servitude. Now you're asking me to pay rent?
Maybe just put something towards food.
You should be paying us, Uncle. We found the will.
Grandfather left everything to Mother and us. I guess he had some sense after all. See for yourself.
I should... maybe...
To my daughter Leandra, and all children born of her, the estate in Hightown and all associated revenues.
What do you have to say for yourself?
You're the one who ran away, Leandra. What happened to love is so much more important than money.
It is!
You didn't even come home for the funeral.
The twins were a week old.
We all have our burdens. Mine was looking after a life you abandoned. How long was I supposed to wait?
You'll spend the rest of your life paying my mother back for what you stole.
Andraste's ass, I will.
I don't expect that, Gamlen. It's enough to know Mother and Father didn't die angry. I'll petition the Viscount for rights to reclaim the estate. Make her willing, you'll have your house back within weeks.
You don't have the coin or standing to even get an audience with the Viscount. You've got to be someone in this city to live in that house again.
Then I had better get started.
Old Shemlin, your kind are not welcome among the Dalish.
What's a Shemlin?
Elven gibberish.
It means you're not one of the people, and you should leave now.
Who are you people?
We are the last of the Elven.
Keep that in mind, Hawk. Elves you see elsewhere, figments of your imagination.
They have given up their identity to live among Shemlin. They're Elven no more.
I was given an amulet for someone named Marathari.
How do you know that name?
Wait, this is the one the Keeper spoke of.
A Shemlin? I thought she'd be an elf.
Enter the camp. Keeper Marathari has been waiting for you.
Cause trouble, and you'll meet our blades, stranger.
Marathari, I was told to bring you this amulet.
Andarana Tishan, travelers. Indeed, I am Keeper Marathari. Let me look at you. There is a light in your heart, human. Don't let it go out. You will need it. Tell me how this burden fell to you, child.
Your guard said you spoke of me. How did you know I was coming?
I listened. To the wind, to the birds, as the hunters do, to my dreams. I watched the stars. There is great wisdom to be found all around us, if you know how to listen for it. But I was not certain. Nothing is certain.
Are you the leader of these Dalish? Why did the witch tell me to bring this amulet to you?
I am the keeper of this clan. It is my task to guide my people and to ensure the old ways are not forgotten. As for Asha Belenar, I am tied to her, just as you are, by a debt that must be repaid.
Exactly what have I been carrying around? Is it magic?
It is a promise, child, made by one whose word still has weight. And therefore, it has terrible power. There are few things in this world stronger than a promise kept. Remember that.
This amulet's owner rescued my family from the Blight. In return, I agreed to bring it to you.
I honor you for coming to me. But I'm afraid your part in this is not done yet. The amulet must be taken to an altar at the top of the mountain, and given a Dalish rite for the departed. Then, return the amulet to me. Do this and your debt will be repaid.
Are you going to teach me this rite for the departed?
I will send my first with you. She will see to it the ritual is done, and when it is complete, I must ask that you take her with you when you go.
Who is your first? First of what?
Your people would call her my apprentice, or heir. Meryl would have taken my place as keeper, but she has chosen a new path. Please, guide her safely from here.
If that's what you want.
It isn't what I want, but it is what she wants. You'll find Merrill waiting for you on the trail just up the mountain. Dareth Shiral.